Coach Steve here. I wanted to talk a little bit about the last game we had against the Bomb, how some of these breakaway scores happened. Let's take a look at this one real quick. Starts out with a really good ball out to our forward, but we lose it down here in the corner. Um, One thing I noticed right away is this outside back went way too far up into the attacking side. Left the line. The line's back here around midfield. And someone just got a little bit too excited about trying to get up there, on that action. So we didn't really stay in our position here. Um, White wins the ball back here. We have our defensive outside defensive back did make it back. Um, we've got some pretty big gaps in our back line here. What I'm noticing though is the ball's transition, so it's a white ball again, and we have our weak side wing right here is standing. At this point, when we lose the ball, the weak side wing should be sprinting back to support the defense, so that the defense is free to shift to the ball side. Let's see how this goes. I'm going to go for slow motion. White has the ball. They make a decent pass. We have no pressure on the ball in the midfield. Now, one thing I want to notice here is, um, our defensive back four is here. One, two, three, four. There's no other player on the entire team that is in front of the ball. All of our midfielders are behind the ball. Our forwards are behind the ball. So we've got four defenders trying to prevent this at this point. Everyone else is chasing the play. So the defense is going to get stretched. And you can already see this center back is starting to pull out of the line to pressure this ball. So four defenders are in front of the ball, no midfielders in defensive positions, no pressure on the ball. There's a through ball attempted. The other center back makes that deflection. We briefly have the ball again, but we really don't have control. This outside back has stopped their recovery, and they're already looking to go forward again. I think everybody's looking to go forward again, and we really haven't secured this defensive stand. We give it away, and we really get some bad luck here. It's a one-touch through ball. Weak side wing is still standing back there. Ball comes through that big gap, and we've got a runner on the ball. We've got a decent shifting motion here from the right side of the defense, but it's already too late at this point. So this is going to be a breakaway, onside, and couldn't quite get in front of that ball, and it's a score. Here's another one. It's really hard to see, but if you look for it, you can see this. We're on the attack. We're looking really optimistic on the attack. We've got a lot of players forward, but in this circle right here is the white center back making the clearance, and we can see we've got our forwards and our midfielders are all up front really high. I'm trying to find our defensive line. I can see one, two maybe here. Looks like everybody else is forward. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I still need one more player to account for. I think it's in here somewhere. So we have just a lot of players up forward, up real high on the attack. Our defensive line is already disorganized at this point. That clearance is made. And if we watch the body language here, we just don't see our midfielders sprinting back. We're getting our defensive back coming back into position, center back, center back. I think this might be a defensive back. So there's our back four. Once again, four players in front of the ball, nobody else in front of the ball. It's a very dangerous situation. The defense is not organized because we don't have any support from the midfield. So we've got these gaps, and it's fairly easy for someone to line up in those gaps. This guy right here, in this gap here. Again, now this is the weak side wing not coming back fast enough. They play a nice over the top ball. Onside. They win that. And they take an early shot and get it over the keeper. So that's twice. That's two. The two goals at the end of the first half here were essentially we had none of our midfielders coming back to support the defense. Everybody wants to get involved in the attack, and as a result, it stretches our defense too thin, and it's really difficult for them to keep the gaps tight, to have the support so they can shift to the ball side, and so they can do their job properly. I saw in practice on Thursday, I was worried that we had some problems where players didn't know what to do. But what I saw on Thursday in practice is that everyone really knows how to play pressure cover, how to shift, and how to step in the defensive line. And I think the real problem is our focus and potentially our attitude, our willingness to come back and play defense. In practice, when we had two defensive mids supporting the back four, it was virtually impossible to score on that. But when our defensive mids are too far up into the attack and the first touch or the clearance even goes right through them, we end up with these fast breaks right up against the back line, which is very problematic. So that's something I think we need to fix. We can keep these scores lower. And I really just think it's an attitude and a focus problem here, and I know we can fix it. So let's try to take this into the tournament as something where we can be proud of how we can play defense. We don't really all need to be a part of that goal scoring. Goal scoring is something from back in the day when we were a lot younger. That was the name of the game in soccer, but now at this level, it's a lot about defending, possessing, and preventing the other team from scoring so that we can hold up, so our lead can hold up. We had a lead in the first half of this game, and I thought we were outplaying the Bomb in the first half of this game. And when they pulled a couple of these fast breaks on us, we essentially just lost our composure. Here's a look at it from the other side. We just missed an opportunity here in front of their goal. They're a quick transitioning team. This is the Bomb. So the keeper picks up the ball. They're stepping quickly, stepping hard on us. At this point, we've probably got at least one player in an offside position, not getting back fast enough. But if we watch this develop here, they're getting into our defense. They've advanced the ball through our midfield. They're back into our back four now at this point. It's just looking at our forwards and our midfielders trying to recover here. It's a little bit of a problem, I think. The ball is now right in front of our goal. Here's two forwards and a wing, I think, or two forwards and a midfield, central midfield or something. But anyway, it's three players that are just watching the play. They're not even trying to get back and play defense. Watch a little closer here. Oh, there's another one. So we got four players that are basically standing forward, watching the defense try to prevent this score. That's just not acceptable. Everybody in the midfield's got to play defense. Even the forwards need to be coming back to seal off drop passes. We can't have essentially half of our team refusing to come back and play defense, and then expect the back four to hold that line. My opinion is we could play defense with a three-back system, as long as our midfielders are actually coming back to support that. That's just not happening right now. Like I said, I think most of you have the conditioning to play this way, to be able to get back. I feel like it's an attitude issue where people just want to get in on the scores. I think that's a little bit selfish, and I feel like we need to really adjust these attitudes so we can get you guys back on defense. If people are tired and people are not recovering to get back into defensive stances, then I think as coaches we need to be pulling you out, putting you on the bench, giving you a breather. That's what I think. Coach Steve, signing out.